Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare medieval radish soup from the Libro della Cucina, also known as Anonimo Toscano, written in the 14th century. We start with ingredients. We need cheese, eggs and radish. Radish is a very popular appetizer since the antiquity, generally consumed raw in salads or by the peasants to accompany bread, according to Galen. Pliny considers radish cibus in liberalis, a poor food unsuitable for free men. To prevent its harmful effects, the author recommends eating it with olives, another common appetizer in the antiquity. In the Re Cucinaria, radish is dressed with ground pepper and garum, but it is unclear whether it is cooked or raw. Galen instead recommends consuming the raw roots with oil and fenugreek, or with garum and vinegar, whereas the stalks must be simmered and eaten with oil, garum and vinegar. Sometimes the roots too are cooked. The leaves instead are eaten only for necessity. In the Renaissance, as recalled by the naturalist Costanzo Felici, even the pods, considered by the author pleasant to taste for their savory flavor, are added to mixed salads. Radish continues to be usually eaten raw in the Middle Ages and Renaissance, but in the Libro della Cucina it is cooked. In another passage, the anonymous Toscan author recommends simmering the leaves and then stir-frying them with olive oil and leek or onion. We boil the radish in salted water with a bit of olive oil. In Anonimo Toscano's book, there are two recipes for radish. The first is a lean dish in which the radish is boiled, then stir-fried with olive oil, onion and salt, then plated with spices. The second recipe, recommended for the days of the vigil, is just a list of ingredients: olive oil, salt, grated cheese, and beaten or poached eggs. Probably the first part of the recipe is the same, and we suppose that the radish must be simmered, but the rest is unclear. We have a few options to prepare a soup, as we did, or stir-fry the ingredients, adding the beaten eggs just before removing it from the fire, or plating it with 1 or 2 poached eggs. The ground spices are optional. We prepare the soup without the spices, adding a poached egg in the plate, but it is up to your taste. If you want to use spices, we recommend some of the most common in these and other medieval Italian cookbooks: pepper, cinnamon, cloves, or nutmeg. You may use the cooking broth of the radish, which has a strong and interesting flavor, or chicken broth to taste. To know more about the source of this recipe, check out our new book, Libro della Cucina, Medieval Tuscan Recipes, in which you find not only the translation of the text, but also notes, a glossary, and an introduction about the ingredients and basic preparations to recreate the medieval recipes authentically. If you're interested in vegetables in historical cooking, read Early Italian Recipes, Vegetables, Fruit, Herbs and Flowers. For more information about medieval food, we recommend the Observazione Ciborum, Early Medieval Recipes at the Court of the Franks, and Registrum Cuquinae, a medieval cookbook. To know more about ancient cuisine, we suggest Ancient Roman Cooking. On our Patreon page, you find articles and more translations of ancient and medieval sources. To support our work, you can also buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise. You find all the links in the description below. We serve the radish with its broth, a poached egg and grated cheese. This soup was intensely flavored, sweet and slightly bitter, with the radish broth. We accompanied it with pork belly meatballs, a perfect pairing with this dish. An interesting variant would be with chicken or beef broth, adding a beaten egg diluted in the broth 1 minute before removing it from the fire. You find the link to the meatballs in the description below. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.